riders is the Mitsubishi L200.
Versatile, premium and rather roomy with the forecab.
The model we have here has a 2.4 litre diesel engine and costs around £35,000.
It is around 37, but that's because it's got the rolling tonneau cover at the back.
Yeah, it's got the chrome as well.
Yes. Now there are a few changes to the earlier model, but you'll be happy to know there is a new model coming out this year. It is actually out in Thailand, but we won't see it till about summer. But that's going to celebrate 40 years of L200.
Saying that, I'm going to be taking a look at the exterior styling.
I'll be looking at the interior, the build quality.
Then we'll both be driving it, and then we'll bring you our verdict on whether or not this is the car for you.
If you like car reviews, automotive shows, why not subscribe to the channel? It's free. And click the notification bell, that way you'll know when a video is uploaded. Thank you.
The first thing you'll notice is the rugged off-road styling and this raised ride height. You've also got dashings of chrome. There's a few subtle changes from the earlier generation, like this black chrome grille. You have automatic bi-xenon HID headlamps, LED daytime running lights. You can also adjust the throw for when towing, automatic wipers. You also have headlamp washers for when you're coated in mud. Coming to the side of the vehicle, would you believe it, they're 17-inch alloy wheels with a high-profile all-terrain tyre. You have large chrome door mirrors, the chrome inserts on the door handles. You do have keyless entry, these large side steps, illuminated kick plates that say Barbarian, more chrome, and as you can see it's a 4-cab, more chrome around the fuel filler cap, and well, more chrome on the back. And don't forget rear privacy glass. Coming to the back of the vehicle, you guessed it, more chrome around the rear lenses and the tailgate release. You also have this large bumper with a step, and below that is the tow bar. You have a 3.5 tonne total towing capacity, reversing camera, high level brake light, and the tailgate is soft opening. Overall, I really like the colour combination with the chrome, the blue, and these chrome bars at the back. You actually have to remind yourself that this is a utility vehicle. At this point, I'm going to hand over to Sam.
As Michael mentioned, you've got the soft opening tailgate and the mountain top roll top cover, which comes in at about £1,800. That just to give you a huge load capacity, which fits the new Planet Auto massive box test and the Euro pallet on there. It closes with a little bit of force, which is why I can't do it. There you go, beautiful. The huge Planet Auto box that we've now got, once removed, shows just how big that load capacity is, with the boot liner in there and the Mitsubishi Motors sign there at the back. The tonneau cover does take up a little bit of room with the roller box, but once removed that gives you even more space, and like I said, you've got about a tonne that you can take in a payload in this vehicle with your 4 tethering points and 2 on either side.
This just gives you some context of the load space. Now, stepping in, it is a bit of a lift, but you have this handle. Now the handle on the opposite side is very good for passengers when you're doing a bit of off-roading. Just gives them something to brace themselves against. Once inside, it's exactly what you expect. It's very robust, hard plastics absolutely everywhere, but saying that, these seats are extremely comfortable. You've got your automatic gearbox and your off-road modes here, and it's lightened up with chrome around the air vents, and it's got a decent infotainment system as well. Now the thing about the Barbarian is it is lifted with things like this leather wrapped steering wheel. You've even got paddles for the gearbox. When it comes to functionality, you've got all-round electric windows, power folding electrically operated wing mirrors, cruise control on the steering wheel, media controls, paddles on the back of the steering wheel, little fuel computer in between the dials. On the right hand side you've also got lane departure warning and the adjustment for your headlamps for when you're towing. You've also got a start-stop engine button here. When it comes to the infotainment system, it's got Bluetooth, it's got DAB radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There is no satellite navigation, but Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are perfect for that. Also going through the menu, you have GPS, so you can find your location. It's also got HDMI as well. Below that you've got dual zone digital climate control, heated seats, remarkably a cigar lighter, 2 USBs and an auto dimming mirror. You've got your automatic gearbox and your manual if you knock it right. This rotary dial controls your 4x4 options. You've got 2 high, 4 high lock and 4 low lock. It is a center locking differential. And then in true style, we have our classic handbrake. You also have hill start assist too. There's also mood lighting in the front with the Barbarian kick plates illuminated. When it comes to practicality, I've got a decent amount of headroom. I'm 6'3". I've also got decent legroom as well. This seat is electronically adjusted, whereas the passenger side isn't. You can adjust the front and the back and the height too. When it comes to the steering wheel, I've got reach and height adjustment. Storage wise, I have a decent sized door bin where I can fit a bottle of water and some snacks. Storage point just under the infotainment system, 2 cup holders and a decent sized centre cubby hole with a little tray for putting things like change or your mobile phone. When it comes to the glove box, it's a button and that's well, it's a reasonable size. And don't forget the glasses holder. Stepping into the rear of the L200 is, well, it's quite a lift up, but once up here, and I do mean up here, right, as you can see, I don't have the most headroom unless I slide right back. But this seat is set up for me and I'm 6'3". So if you set it a little more forward, then I would have ample headroom and a little bit more leg room. One thing about this interior is it's very, very comfortable, but it is leather. You've got stitching and I mean, yeah, okay, there's hard touch plastics, but you expect that because it's built for robustness. You know, it's a utility vehicle. Now, space-wise, well, you'll get 2 adults in here very comfortably, 3 possible on shorter journeys. You've got map pockets on the back of the seats. Would have been nice to see a USB down here. You've got electric windows. The privacy glass doesn't make it too dark. Now, I've got a pull-down armrest. The doors are lit up quite well with this satin effect. You do have a padded bit for your arm to rest against, but there isn't actually any padding on the bit where your arm lies. So that would have been nice to see. Maybe we'll see that in the new model. And you've got a door bin that would accommodate a flask. And don't forget handles, because we all need these handles when we're going off-roading. And that is what this vehicle is built for. And one really nice touch is the mood lighting in blue below the seats, which illuminates where your feet are. You've also got ISOFIX points and airbags. Now with the previous generation, this seat was more a bench seat, but this has sculpture. It's also got very nice materials as well and is rather plush. Overall, the interior is exactly what it says on the tin. There's a lot of hard plastics, but you do have nice padded areas. You've got mixes of colour which lighten it up in the front and the back, and the seats in the front are very, very comfortable, and the backs. Now cleverly, if you pull this rear seat forward, you've got your bottle jack, a number plate storage area, and you can also get some other small items in here. Got a bracing bar here, and your wheel bar there too. What's the Mitsubishi L200 Barbarian like to drive? Well, it's powered by a 2.4 litre turbo diesel engine and it develops 181 PS. And if I remember correctly, Michael, it's got some crazy torque figure.
It's got 430 newton meters of torque.
That is quite staggering.
I think that would make it towing that 3.5 tons effortless.
Completely. Yeah. Well, you can see straight away from the terrain that I'm actually driving over. This is built for 4x4 performance, and that is in two-wheel drive.
I was going to say we did just do a small drift then, didn't we?
We did indeed. So let's put it in 4-wheel drive and watch what happens.
It scrabbles for grip, but that's hardly surprising with the
it's wet.
The diff lock.
Yeah,
shows that it engages quickly and effortlessly, which days of old in
I was going to say it was all with Land Rovers. We get out, spend 2 hours twisting bits on the wheels.
Yeah.
So with this, you literally have the rotary dial
and change it from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive, and
yeah, stop for a split second, let it disable, and then back into 2-wheel drive.
That's it. This car is about, well, this truck is about going everywhere and anywhere,
yes,
without a problem, towing, 3.5 tons with a ton of stuff in the back, and it's just not a problem. It's what it's designed to do.
Exactly.
It's not for your avid off-roader going green laning, but towing farm vehicles around horse boxes, this car is perfect.
Saying that, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for that long wheelbase, would it? It's actual...
Absolutely, and wouldn't struggle with the terrain.
No, well that's it. You've got the torque, you've got the power. Thank you, Mum.
What you also have to remember is, although this is a very capable vehicle, it's still able to tackle, your day-to-day tasks, carrying the family around. It's still very comfortable. It's a nice place to be.
I think it's rather luxurious. I would say that about this interior.
I think it feels coherent as well, that it's carried through from the front to the back with the luxury seats, the sculpting, and it all translates to a nice experience, a nice place to be.
Yes, certainly.
Well, that's it. Even because of the ride height and because of the vehicle's dimensions, it doesn't feel like there's too much body roll. It's at the end of the day, it is a big vehicle.
There's no denying it. It's not going to fit in your average Tesco car parking space.
Compare it to a L200 or a Hilux 10 years ago, and it's a world away.
Yeah, well, the refinement is far better. Even in the gearbox and things, you can just feel the power delivery seems to be, well, it's consistent. I mean, there is a slight delay if you kick down, but you kind of expect that because, I mean, it is built for torque. It's built for pulling, isn't it?
Exactly.
Carrying loads as opposed to traffic light racing. Steering is, well, remarkably light when manoeuvring, but when you're driving, it's weightens up very nicely. One thing I did notice with this, and obviously this is because you haven't got a load in it, because it can carry, what's the actual weight that you can carry in the back?
Just over a ton.
Just over a ton.
Yeah, but if you haven't got a ton in it, if you floor it, let's say, anywhere and turn, it will just spin and bounce a bit. But when you're loaded, you don't notice any of that. But it's a pickup. That's what all pickups do, isn't it?
Yeah.
This model also has lane departure warning, automatic headlamps, rain sensing wipers, and power folding mirrors. You've got a little fuel computer in the middle where you see things like economy. It's got very clear dials as well. And right above the fuel computer, you have got a little symbol that shows you your wheelbase. You've got the front wheels and the rear wheels, and they light up according to whichever mode you're in. Low lock, high lock. I'll let someone talk four-wheel drive.
Your two-wheel drive, which is standard, is rear-wheel drive.
Yep.
So you've got 4 high, 4 high LC,
Yep.
and 4 high LLC.
And it's central diff lock as well, isn't it, Sam?
It is a central diff lock, yeah, so it'll lock all your wheels together and get you out of pretty much any sticky situation you find yourself in.
Well, I've noticed that when you're driving along in it, it doesn't actually, or if it does have descent control, it's kind of built into it. But it does grip extremely well. I mean, you'll take it on gravel and things, it won't churn up. It'll just, you can tell that it's getting traction, shall we say.
I was also going to say, if you've got to cover many miles in one of these, it's still perfectly capable on the motorway, at 70 miles an hour. It doesn't blow around, it doesn't, it feels very, very safe. In fact, it feels just like a normal car.
Well, let's say you've got soft suspension, but it doesn't seem to give you any body roll to speak of. Now, one thing you would expect with a ride height of this, that it would be a bit ungainly on its feet, and it really isn't. The suspension takes all the bumps extremely well, but it's not bouncy, is it?
It's more noticeable than a standard car, but it's to be expected.
Yes.
You've got this, and you need that, and it's the leaf springs on the back. It's old technology, but it's technology that works, and that's why Mitsubishi have stuck with it.
Well, it's been trusted by four-wheel drives for years, hasn't it?
Doesn't go wrong.
Once you're driving a pickup, especially the L200, you feel, let's say, invincible, because you've got such a high ride height. It's quite wide, isn't it? But it doesn't feel it when negotiating and going down back lanes.
That's it. We've had pretty horrible weather this week.
Oh yes.
And gigantic puddles,
Yes.
Ice aren't really a problem. And you've got a nice view of the road.
Even when going over, say, the switchbacks here with the hills up and down, undulating as it were, it feels well planted, doesn't it? It doesn't feel to be airy at any point.
No.
And that's even without load in the back, where
Yeah.
suspensions, it's sort of maximum height with no weight on it, it's still comfortable, refined, and yeah, it feels planted even just sat in the back.
Brakes work very well. You've got hill start assist. You do have front discs but rear drums, but it is perfectly acceptable because it can stop very, very well. Now we say manoeuvring is very easy in this, light steering. Don't be under any illusion that you will have a great turning circle in this. It's more like a sports car, but you kind of expect that. But saying that, you will get round tight corners with ease. Because of the torquey engine and that 2.4 diesel, power just continues. It just changes gears seamlessly, and it will just pull and pull and pull. And that's with a load or without a load. Economy wise, let's face it, you're not going to be expecting high figures, are you, with a 2.4 turbo diesel engine with some ridiculous amount of torque of about 430. But saying that, the claim figures are around 37. Now, you've probably gathered by now that we don't drive particularly economically, do we?
No, but even still, you're achieving low 30s, but
exactly.
That's about the same for every vehicle in this class.
Plus, we've been doing off-roading, haven't we? I mean, not green lane off-roading, granted, but we have been taking in mud and large puddles and treacherous trails and all the above. Snow, ice, brimstone, you name it.
And whilst you haven't been towing huge loads, that's obviously going to affect your fuel consumption to some degree.
Yes. Pheasant! Dual pheasants!
Pheasanting.
It might be a good idea to have a big wallet because this is a 75 litre tank. As we mentioned before, there is an adjustment for the lights. You've got the auto lights and they're quite a good throw, aren't they? And when you've got the trailer on, you just adjust that and your lights will
adjust the throw.
Yes.
You've got heated seats, the ambient lighting, leather seats.
Yes. It's comfortable, isn't it?
Yeah. You could go very, a large amount of miles in this without feeling uncomfortable.
You could quite easily have one of these as a daily driver, couldn't you?
Yeah.
There's plenty of space in the crew cab here for 2 up front, 2 up back adults, and then you've still got that massive load space out the back for pallets you mentioned will fit in easily, ton of weight.
It's got a long wheelbase, hasn't it? So you can fit a lot on that platform.
Yeah, I mean, you see them with the mountain bikes on, you can totally see why now. They're easy to throw in the back. It's a really versatile space as well.
It is. Now, the one thing that I've seen in reviews it's not quite as luxurious as an SUV. It isn't an SUV in any shape or form, is it?
It's a utility vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes!
Forget the S bit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's what the SUV was derived from, is a pickup truck.
Yes.
You know, it is a commercial vehicle at the end of the day. You know.
Overall, it's a perfect all-round utility vehicle.
Yeah, it gets decent MPG, it's very roomy, it's very practical, and I think it's quite luxurious as well.
And it's hugely versatile, both on-road and off-road.
What's our verdict of the Mitsubishi L200?
Well, versatile, roomy, rather executive inside, and not too bad on fuel, considering that 2.4 litre turbocharged diesel engine.
Huge amounts of space, big payload, great towing capacity.
And with that double cab, it's still practical for the family.
And I think it looks sporty, upmarket, with these, well, there's chrome everywhere, isn't there?
As you mentioned, you forget it's a utility vehicle.
You certainly do. It's got very big torque figures, it's automatic. I think that automatic is very seamless as well. I would have expected it to feel more soft off-roady when it went into corners and things, but it actually holds the road extremely well, and when you take it off-road, well,
it's more than capable. The Easy Select 4-wheel drive just makes it simple and seamless to take off-road, and it then can cope with any terrain that you throw at it for this type of vehicle.
And it is very easy just to switch with that rotary dial.
What we can't wait for is the next generation L200 coming later this year.
Euro NCAP 4 safety rating.
Yep, and this model with all of its options, the rolling cover and the chrome, is around £37,000.
But it's well worth the money. I mean, just look at it.
If you're in the market for a premium 4-cab pickup, then the L200 is well worth taking a look at.
If you've any questions about the L200, please leave them in the comments below, and please subscribe to the Planet Auto YouTube channel.
Also remember to turn on that notification bell.
Thank you.